What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Uh, so I was gonna record like a video just like just like yesterday I recorded one, and there was gonna be I'm still gonna talk about the same shit, but sometimes like the topics just fall into my fucking lap. 'Cause so I was always about to record the video, uh, I get a notification that in Totsuki, which is another server, uh, that's Kazuki owns, the people are watching my private conversation with Akino take place. And emphasis on private because that shit was meant to be not recorded, and we agreed on it being not recorded. Because if we're gonna have a recording, we're just gonna have regular blah blah blah, and we're gonna do it in a public server, whatever. It was a it was a private server. I deliberately not, oh sorry, I deliberately didn't invite people to join it because he asked me not to, very politely. And Akin is a nice guy, and so we're talking, and I don't think anything of it. And a couple of days passed, and okay, all this shit happens, and so like, how the fuck am I supposed to react? Like, yeah, obviously I get mad. And turns out that it was not Akino. It was his friend, Ningen, who actually organized the work being kind of sent around. So he sent it to Infinity. And then obviously, okay, Infinity is not my closest friend, obviously. So Infinity sent it around, and now they're watching it in Tozuki with like 7 people, I think. Like, Apollo is there, Hyde is there, a couple people is there. And so that's just super odd to me. Like, I'm not sure why people do that. Because he told me, I mean, no, he told me why he did it. Ningen told me why. He said, "Oh yeah, but I just record every conversation from Akano just to learn and shit." And so obviously, like, I'm not gonna hold a grudge. I just forgave him. I said, "Okay, yeah, you're good, bro. Like, just it, at least I hope you understand that. Okay, yeah, it's fine for me to get mad at this because it really is. It really is fine for me to get mad at stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, and at first sight, it did seem like I got slimed pretty terribly for a feed. Otherwise, without any further explanation, like, it is always going to be that. Okay, you just slimed this guy for a feed, which is always going to be weird. Um, and that's apparently what happened with Shikyu as well in his conversation with Akino. So that kind of didn't end well for someone. Anyway, Akino is a good guy, bro. I'm not sure why everyone who I talk to, sorry, not everyone, obviously not everyone, but most people who I talk to, like most of my actual close friends, who also have talked to Akino, have like pretty negative experiences with the guy. And I clicked there definitely. By the way, I was gonna record Bloodborne gameplay for this one, and then just talk separately, but low-key I can't be bothered to get Bloodborne gameplay off my PlayStation. So yeah, we're gonna be stuck with Blade Ball for today. Anyway, uh, everyone who have talked to me and have talked to Akino, like Jester, like fucking Apollo, like who else? Zizzer, by the way. They all have like severely negative things to say about the guy, and I'm just not sure what he would have done for that to happen, but it definitely is being said about him. So that's something to consider, I guess. Nah, but he's a cool guy from where we talked. He's a good Muslim, mashallah. But yeah, speaking of that convo, it was just pretty retarded, in my opinion. I circled very quickly. So we were talking about like Daniel versus James, and I had James Lee from Lookism, and so we are just most of the conversation we are just talking about like whether or not Daniel was adjusting down to actually fight this guy. And so, in my opinion, obviously he didn't adjust down as he's weaker than James, but that was pretty much the gist of the conversation. But anyway, what I was actually going to talk about this time was, well, the thing I was going to start with before this whole thing happened is, fucking hell, dude. Oh my gosh. I checked time for a second, and as I'm checking time, someone just fucking decided to. Someone decided to just fucking whatever, dude. The game decided to hit me. But anyway, I'm like half asleep if you can tell. Yeah, today me and Vortex and Mercury and Hyde, but mostly me and Vortex and mostly Vortex out of those two. We're pretty much just fucking a guy named Truth, a famous low T guy, low testosterone, low tier, low T Truth over here, low T Truth. Where Vortex was pressing him and beating the fuck out of him on why I didn't lose to Kuros, which is an opinion that a certain subset of retards hold, or a certain subset of individuals hold, certain subset of characters hold. And so that conversation was about 10 minutes, and 5 minutes of that was just me, Mercury, Hyde, and Vortex just pretty much ganging up on the kid and exposing his rhetorical shortcomings, as he's a very very chopped speaker, if we were to put it in words. He's a very easy guy to dominate rhetorically. Because, I mean, he tries to have rhetoric, like you can see that the guy's trying to speak up, but then when he actually, like when you pipe up back to him, and most people's microphone is going to be just loud in his, like when you pipe up to him rather, sorry, he just doesn't have a good time, dude. Like he starts stumbling, you can hear it changing the tone. Like he's one of those guys where you can like hear when they're losing. Like Cho is one of them, Trini is one of them. Like when Trini starts losing, he just starts piping down, starts piping down, starts piping down. But anyway, that was funny. And about that Kroos debate, dude, like, no offense to Kroos or anyone who thought he won, out of those four people that thought he won. But if you did think that Kroos won that conversation, there's like something not like properly wired in your head. Like, you gotta be some type of retarded to say that Kroos won that conversation. Or maybe if you're not retarded, maybe if you're like a normal guy, you at the release definitely don't know what a question bag is. Because Truth's primary reason for saying that Kroos won was saying, well, no, his first reason actually, before he got bodied on it, his first reason was saying, okay, well, the kanji, he brought up the kanji. He said the kanji is like more specific than skill. It's actually indexed to physical strength. And so, obviously, both me and Wertig just dunked on that because, I mean, it doesn't actually try, that response doesn't actually try to engage with what I was contesting within the debate. And so, then his response was, okay, well, he contextualizes in the video that he talks about. And so, one, I'm severely confused because the only thing he says is in the video you can see that the kanji is going to be talking about something which is not skill, something which is going to be directly indexed to physicals, right? Physical strength, physical, in the fight, whatever. And so that was to respond directly to a possibility I brought up, which is okay. Well, Mihawk's title is going to be talking about swordsmanship rather than your overall abilities as a fighter, right? Or rather, sword skill. And so yeah, oh, fuck, dude. Oh my gosh, fuck. Fuck, I really want to scrap footage right now because I'm not looking good right now. Fucking hell. Fuck. That was so terrible. Anyway. Fucking hell. Yeah, and so Cruz's response to that was saying, well, yeah, again, it's on my skill. But like, if my whole thing is asking why is the context going to be something which indexes to your thing, and then after you brought up the skill thing, I said, okay, well, it may be physical strength, but there's still other subsets of, things that falls under physicality that would not actually, lead to your conclusion, which is, for example, like maybe Miyako is the strongest physically, where he just punches the hardest, or something along those lines. And obviously, as you can see, punching the hardest doesn't actually mean that you're the strongest fighter, as it doesn't correlate to speed, doesn't correlate to AP. Believe it or not, punching hard doesn't mean that you punch, effectively. It's not what attack potency is. Or you strike effectively, like with your sword. Anyway, you get the point, dude. It's not a contention. So, yeah. And then another issue with that is, well, if we're talking about his view and he brings up his video, and even if his video does contextualize it, he actually does bring some kind of substance where, okay, yeah, cool. You can tell that from these scans, this guy just clearly, fuck, like the ball was so fast. The guy's clearly, the guy Oda is clearly talking about something which is not indexed to swordsmanship. It's talking about the overall fight. Obviously, it's not talking about just physical strength or their ability. You understand that if we engage past that, and I don't just take that and end the conversation there, then you have to argue just past citing the video because he just said, "Oh yeah, I said this in this video." That's not informative at all. I can say, "Oh yeah, I, I'm really gonna get out this game, dude. It's not good. It's not looking good." Fuck, dude. How should I even play? Uh, let's play an obby. Let's play an obby because I'm low-key ass at everything, so I'm gonna need to play something easy. What the hell is death ball? Obby. Skate obby. Okay. Whatever that is. Okay. Oh, that's good, bro. Anyway. Uh, okay, can you jump? Can you speed up? Anyway. Yeah, and so if we're actually engaging past that low citation that he did, then clearly that wasn't productive enough or convincing enough for me to actually engage with, or for me to actually do anything with that. So saying, okay, but he cited it. Obviously, either I'm questioning the citation or I'm just not convinced by the substance in the citation. That's why Kuros actually continued arguing past that citation because obviously he's not a retard as well, unlike Truth, that can recognize that, okay, well, just citing that is not something which is going to be enough to win you the debate or win you the conversation. Obviously, right? So, well, this game is fire, by the way. Holy shit. Um, so yeah, that's that. It just like guys like Truth are just so like okay, like my friends like Yanni tell me that Truth is like this guy. He has potential. He has potential, man. He has potential, man. Like, no, he does. Like, I mean, maybe no. Obviously, everyone has potential, but he's not something. He's not someone who strikes me as someone who's particularly intelligent currently, and definitely not someone who's presumably gonna be super intelligent. Uh, if he like reads a book or something. And for someone who does debate IRL, he clearly hasn't actually read anything, right? Because Vortex, I'm not gonna say that just because he didn't cite something he read. Fuck, dude. Just because he didn't cite something he read means that okay, he actually didn't read anything. I feel like that's pretty disingenuous, but fuck, I thought I was gonna lose there. Uh, but the guy gets something so easy as a Gadier case, which is pretty much beginner epistemology knowledge, wrong. He just gets those shit wrong. Those shits wrong. He said a Gadier case is something which attempts to sorry, it's something which is a justified truth belief. Like someone asked him, my friend Hyde asked him, okay, well, what is a Gadier case? And he said justified truth belief. A Gadier case is something which attempts to attack justified truth belief as actually a good quality for knowledge or a good condition for knowledge. Good definition for knowledge, rather. So I'm confused. How the fuck are you gonna say the exact thing it tries to oppose as a definition for the Gadier case? How does that make sense to anyone? Like, and that's again, like I said, I never read anything particular on that subject yet. I know what a Gadier case is, and Gizbob knows what a Gadier case is, and your regular friend who never read anything on epistemology knows what a Gadier case is. Like, how degenerate do you have to be to actually not know this? And if you don't notice, there's no like straight to you, but you're also not like a fake intellectual like Truth. So there's definitely a straight to Truth at the bare fucking minimum, right? So yeah, fucking hell. And Truth is not even like who does this? Who does this? Why is there just a menu popping up? Uh, Truth is not the only one who's like this like bad, quote unquote, right? Because that whole little community, like their whole like little friend group, like you know how I'm talking about, like Flames, like already talked about them enough in my last video. Flames, Rewind, like whoever talks to Truth, pretty much is just caught off the same fucking, caught of the same cloth. All these guys are just retarded, retarded, retarded. And I'm sure he's like a nice guy, but like why are you like when I get into VC to talk about my own debate? Like you're forcing me to insult you back. You're forcing me to back you back when I started by saying, "Yo, what's up, Truth? This is why I think I won." And you said, "Okay, retard. I'm not speaking to you." Like who speaks to people like this? You're asking for it. So when you get bitched eventually by everyone in call, Like, why are you complaining about? Oh, bro, like these people were speaking to me. Like these people, like, bro, you started aping out first. Like, what the hell? Like, what is this hypocrisy? Like, do you think we can't tell what you're doing? Like, holy shit. Like that whole little community. Like, bro, I'm not sure. Like, what is it with low tiers and like fake confidence? But you got to be some type of retarded to think that truth is good. And he's also the type of guy to like fake feats without shame. Which, like, for example, he said he beat up Apollo, which, okay, like, yeah, we believe that, bro. Like, we believe you. Fucking retard. Oh, I thought I could go under that. Anyway, fucking hell. On that note, truth also strikes me as the type of, like, ghetto Jin archetype where you can debate for years and not get better. Because I'm not sure for how long this guy has been debating, but maybe, fuck, I'm also ass at this game. Holy shit. I'm not sure for how long this guy has been debating, but it definitely isn't like a long time. Wait, if it is a long time, that's definitely. I'm not gonna go there. Oh, fuck. Hold on, let me lock in. Oh my gosh, dude, fuck. Guys, you can't be good at everything. You can't be good at everything. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, easy claps. Okay, fuck, that was intense. Anyway, he strikes me as like the ghetto gen type where you're so arrogant and or retarded for as you can't actually get better. You cannot actually get better, even though you have debated for years. And people like Isaac and people uh like I don't even know who debated for like little amounts of time. Like for example, Isaac. Yeah, Isaac is the best example. Why can people like Isaac debate for a year and be marginally better than you? Like how does that work? Like Gedogen, why are you debating for 6 years? Why are you debating since I was in fourth fucking grade? And you are still more like unanimously one of the worst debaters in the community. Why is that? Like, there's got to be some kind of learning disability, right? Because when you listen to all these good guys debate, like, Gilder debated a lot of good guys, dude. He debated Apollo, he debated Forks. I mean, Forks is not the best guy ever, but, he's definitely better than Gerojin. There's definitely something to learn from Forks for Gerojin. He debated, I think, Gias. I think he debated Shinra and C, he debated several times. Like, he debated, like, I'm not even sure who else he debated. The point is, he debated a lot of people. Like, how do you not take anything from that? Or if you do take something from that, then you take clearly very minimal knowledge from that. I don't know. Like, the only way to legitimately get better, though, is I feel like, I mean, not the only way, obviously, but the most efficient way or the most proven way to actually get better. After this, I'm gonna quit the game. Is experience, and not just any experience, but like a lot of experience, right? Good experience. Because, well, you see people like Gerogen, yeah, he does somewhat debate good people sometimes, but mostly he does debate like people like Anime Atto, like who's a literal fucking editor, and Noxus Warrior, and all these guys. Who he also lost to Noxus Warrior, by the way, who's like a notorious shitter. He like that's the pretty much the hunk of people he debates, or the pretty much the huge, uh, the biggest margin of people he actually debates. If you actually want to get better, here's my tip: just go and debate the most competent person you can for a billion times, or how many times you want to. This looks terrible. And you're gonna get so much, like, you're gonna get so much better than if you were to debate, like, 10 times that, but it was like a bunch of low tiers, right? Because you actually get to something, you actually get pushed more when you debate someone who's way better than you. And when I say better, I don't mean like a knowledge gap, because that's what IRL debaters usually perceive as better. That's why people like the Choi are considered good, even though he's not good, in my opinion. As a debater, he's just terrible. He's a terrible reasoner, all around. Thank God I'm still recording. Um, yeah, someone who's like as a is a good reasoner, who's a smart guy, who can actually push you to critically think. and that's how you get better. Like me, Vortex, and Isaac, we literally had like 20 spars pretty much, or not 20, 60 spars in a month. And in that month, Isaac, fucking hell, dude. And in that month, Isaac just got like the most improvement he ever had. I improved a lot, or maybe I didn't improve a lot, but I definitely did hone my skill a little bit in those months. So in that month rather. And after that month, Isaac, who was in my opinion way worse than Gias, he beat Gias after that month, and it was not that close. At least on the point, it was not that close. I think Isaac did Gias terribly in that debate. Maybe not rhetorically. Rhetorically it was close because both don't really care about rhetoric. I think Gias is better rhetorically, but you get what I mean. He's a funny guy, funny guy. I think it was pretty bad for the G, and I respect Gias a lot. By the way, I'm like one of the 5 people who actually have Gias high, right? So that tells you a lot. And that's why people like Infinity are always going to be asked because they don't care enough to actually do that. They don't care enough to find someone who is way better than them, to actually go and try to learn from them because they have too much ego for that. That's why they're going to be losing like people like Isaac, 2 people like Isaac, even though they have been debating for 10 times as much and have 10 times as better consensus like with other low tiers like Infinity and such, or like themselves and such rather. Like that's why. And so Ghetto Jin is like a mid tier in the old community, which is funny to me because currently, like current day at least, if you're an intelligent guy, you're gonna be talking. The only way you're gonna be talking about the old community is about like if you're gonna be talking about like, people like Seth or Trini or pretty much the top, the creme de la crop, the top of the top pretty much for the old community, and you're gonna be comparing them to people like fucking Smoothie or such people. Basically, you're gonna be cross comparing the best from the old times to the mediocre of today's, the mediocres of today. And that seems like supremely funny to me because like okay, so these are the worst. So these are the best guys. So how do the worst or worst guys actually hold up? Like Airflame, and Airflame is not that bad. I feel like no, actually no. Airflame was perceived as the top guy, but he did lose to Infinity very badly. Like recently, one of the only times I'm going to be defending Infinity winning a debate when he beat Airflame. So, and I've perceived Infinity as a very lower tier guy, like really tier 4 guy. And like Airflame is what, like tier 1, tier 0 in Oldcom? Just pretty sad stuff, man. And Ghetto Jin is like pretty much what happens if like he like I remember seeing Kuro's tier list in like Kurosa's tier list in like 2023 or 2021, 2021, something like 2021, 2022, something like that. And the guy had Kuro, Ghetto Jin like very high, dude. Like holy shit, what does that tell me about your community? If Ghetto Jin of all people is high, like the notorious, very well recorded, degenerate goblin, who's a something wrong with his head is beyond me, way beyond me, guys. Mm. This game is so fucking boring. Holy fucking shit. I wish I was an acid play ball. I'll be with you on a bike. Anyway, yeah, you get the point, dude. Like, the old com are just ass, and I'm gonna call them so slack. To be fair, they're ass because they focus on the wrong shit. So I'm not sure how Airflame would actually fare if you gave him like a book or you gave him some kind of knowledge where I had the knowledge, or you gave him the same experience that I had. Because maybe he's just way more talented as a raw debater than I am, but how am I supposed to know that? Like, if we're cross comparing skill for skill, like, yeah, sorry, your ape rhetoric is not something which is gonna save you this time because we don't really care about that stuff anymore. And that's something which I actually appreciate from the current community because more and more people are gonna be starting to just stop caring about rhetoric like that, or at the very least, maybe not stop caring about rhetoric because that's virtually impossible to do if you're a normal human. Because obviously, you're gonna be always persuaded by some level optics, or you're gonna be persuaded to some level by optics rather. Obviously, that's not like a reasonable request to just forget about that, but they do consider substance to be marginally more important than that little ape rhetoric that's uh they got going for them. Like Airflame, Archie is a nice guy to talk about when you talk. Yeah. So with Archie, what I was gonna say is the guy has actually tried to make the change recently to actually try and go on substance. Thing is, it doesn't really work out for him because one, well, he's not particularly the smartest guy, which is pretty bad considering. Like I said prior, when talking about people like Ghetto Jin, he has been debating for a very long time, and I mean, at least you can see it with rhetoric because he is a pretty good speaker when he isn't aping out. Like if he doesn't do the cringe loud mic shit, like I can definitely see him being like a normal speaker. Thing is, one remark I will make about his rhetoric style is it is noticeably boring when he is talking with a talking stick or actual moderation when he can't like just like either A loud mic someone or B just talk over them pretty much, even if it's without a loud mic, which I mean it's usually on anyway. So yeah. Uh the guy's been trying to get on substance, but when you try to change your whole rhetoric style, the way you actually approach things in a debate, that doesn't that is never gonna really work out for you because I mean, unless you are really committed to like unlike Archie, I don't think Archie's actually willing to make that change because we humans are not really well adjusted to change in general, and so when you and I make changes, it's something which is going to be definitely uncomfortable for everyone, you and me. But it's never impossible to make that change. Yet Archie, who has been debating for 5 years with the same old like ape out style, the same old Aeroflame style, it's something which is pretty much encoded into his blood, into his nigger blood, right? Something which is always going to be there, no matter how much he actually tries to, change it up. Which is kind of a pessimistic thought, kind of a depressing thought, but like, I'm sorry, it is what it is. Like, you want to act like a nigger, like you're gonna stay a nigger, and we're always gonna treat you like one. And when I say we, I mean like everyone who has like any IQ, like anything above 60 IQ, where you're not considered a mental retard in the United States. Like we are gonna consider and treat you like an ape because you are one, respectfully. And even when he does try to go on substance, he is still very AP. By the way, just to add that part in, because like I said, it's fair. I'm not gonna hold him, uh, not changing or being hard with changing his style after 5 years. I'm not gonna hold him. I'm not gonna hold that against them. But like, if you do try and change, but like at least do it harder. Like at least try. Not this shit, dude. Like holy fuck. What a guy, man. I love Archie. One of my first debates, like with an actual person, like with a known person, was Archie. And then we talked about One Piece, like Khan versus Luffy or some dumb shit. And it was a terrible debate. Well, first and foremost, I was a squeaker, and he was a skeptic rat against a shitty squeaker like myself. So he asked me, why is Luffy a pirate? Like yeah, I get that you don't read One Piece, but that's something which is just should never be asked by any party ever. If you know anything about the source, which presumably, if you haven't read One Piece, like you should have like at least very surface knowledge on it, like to where you don't need to ask someone as myself, why is Luffy a fucking pirate? Like what kind of fucking question is that? That's like asking why is Naruto a ninja? Fucking retarded. Fuck, like I actually hate rats so much. Archie's like the known funny rat guy in the community. That's what he's known for, at least to my circle. At least to my circle. But I never got that high on computer. I never did. There was any other game. Well, I'm kind of like done talking about what I wanted to talk about. So I'm just gonna do one more run and then we're gonna end the video. Shinra style. Oh yeah, by the way, everyone who's watching, subscribe to Shinra Debate Syndicate, aka the African Assassin on YouTube, at the African Assassin. So this is pretty much where this is like his videos are the style I ripped off for these videos. Even though I did get the remark from pretty much everyone who watched my previous video that I am significantly calmer than what Shinra is. And that's kind of like why I made the first video anyway. Well, partly because I did have shit to talk about genuinely that I wanted to rant about and let you guys know how I felt. But also I felt that in Shinra's last video, he was so spazzy. He was so like, he was so crazy in that video. And that's kind of how he talks always, but I don't know, in that video it kind of like especially bothered me. Well, it didn't really bother me. I still like watched the video and I really liked it, but you know, you know what I'm saying when I say bother. Something which kind of icked me. Because when I'm making like this video or any upcoming video or my last video, I'm really making something which I could see myself like unironically sleeping to. Because even though this is not an ASMR type content, this is not ASMR type content, I don't really need to sleep to ASMR. Because I usually unironically sleep to like MMA YouTube. Or anything like any topic I specifically watch, but it's usually MMA YouTube, like any like YouTube like bedtime MMA, for example, if you watch UFC. Yeah, that's why I usually, well, not usually, but that's why I sometimes sleep to, because I just like to be a little bit more engaged while I'm sleeping. And for the Discord debaters, if you know who Kane B is, which I assume everyone does, he's a philosophy YouTuber. Even though, like I said, he's not an ASMR guy in particular, but I have a whole playlist with like his videos of like any particular topic or any given topic, any random topic. And his videos are so like relaxing. They're actually engaging for me because, well, obviously I like talking about philosophy, I like reading on philosophy, especially metaethics, and the guy has a great metaethics catalog where even if you're someone who actually is particularly knowledgeable on metaethics, you're gonna find it interesting to engage with this guy's content, which I find very, very nice, very refreshing. Because to my knowledge, there actually fucking isn't anyone else on YouTube who actually does things like he does. Scary teacher video. Should I play that? Well, bro, the video is like very long. It's very long now. Let me play one round of this. Because I used to play this in school. I don't fucking care, dude. I know there's like equivalents of like Barca here, Liverpool here, like all the known teams, but I don't really care to read it. Ooh, golazo, golazo, golazo! Hey, we fuck with it, bro. I used to be the goat at it. But you know the actual game that's goated. I'm gonna probably play it next video. Curveball 3D on engineering.com. That shit is gas, bro. And I used to be so good at it. Like in class, in coding class, given that we have computers in front of us 24/7, it's kind of hard not to play a game at least once. So the game of my choice was always just curveball, and I got up to like 9. I feel like, yeah, it was 9 or 8, and that's like, ooh, that's an insane number. At least it was for me. You know, bro, I have been coding for like years, like literally 3 4 years, and I'm still so ass at it. Like I remember Gias was fucking pressing me about what the fuck is I think it was a dictionary, right? In a code in Python, and what the hell is an import? Fuck. And I couldn't answer because I really have just been slacking the whole time. I kind of like got by on either googling answers, which that was before ChatGPT, yeah, fucking feel like an unk, or just cheating off of other guys. And I wasn't like too bad anyway, but I just forgot everything. So I'm gonna really finish this after this round, guys. We're gonna finish this after this round. Yo, shout out Yanni, shout out Vortex, shout out Isaac, shout out. Nobody's gonna fucking score this game, dude. Fucking hell. Hold on. Well, I was the one who scored. Okay. Okay, guys. For the winner. Wait, shout out Yanni, shout out Mercury, shout out Rishan, shout out Hyde, shout out C, shout out Isaac, shout out Zhang, shout out Haram, shout out this masterclass. Hey, hey. Okay, guys, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for watching.